Harrison City Council meeting, May 7th, 2025. If you please rise and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you please remain standing, I'd like to invite Pastor Jeff Durler. He is not here this evening, so I will say the invocation. If you please bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together this evening. I just pray that you guide us through this meeting. Open our hearts, minds, and eyes and ears to all things, Lord. Help us to fully understand and make the right decisions on behalf of the community. Lord, I also pray that you're just with all our community members across the tri-state. Times are tense, and I just pray for answers to come forth, and I just pray for peace. Lord, I thank you for all things. In Jesus' name, amen. Roll call, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Here.
Mr. Egner?
Here.
Mr. Abrams?
Here.
Mr. Samuels?
Here.
Mr. Akra?
Here.
Mrs. Van Cleve?
Here.
Mrs. Wilson?
Here.
Approved council meeting minutes from April 15th, 2025.
So move. I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Egner?
Yay.
Mr. Abrams?
Yay.
Mr. Samuels?
Yay.
Mr. Akra?
Yay.
Mrs. Van Cleve?
Yay.
Mrs. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Wilson?
Okay, we'll move on to the next part of the agenda and presentations, and American Legion is on the agenda this evening.
If we could have a representative from the Greater Harrison Rotary Club step over to the podium.
On behalf of the American Legion charities, we wanted to donate you $1,000 towards the Rainbow Bridge project. We know you didn't raise quite enough as what you needed, so we met, and they met, and I just signed checks. They met, and I got to sign the check, and so we have a donation for you for $1,000.
Thank you very much.
You have anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, we want to thank the Legion for this donation, and the Rainbow Bridge. We invite everybody to go out and check it out. It's over by the dog park. It has been featured on Channel 12 twice. Our intent was to bring some positivity to the community, something to maybe boost morale and have everybody come together. On Facebook, we have had 33,300 likes and 700 shares. We did mark it on Google, so if you would search it, it shows up on Google Maps, and there have been pictures and 50 plus shares and likes. So Rotary is service above self. We give back to the community and other ways of scholarships and doing things positive in the community. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you and your whole team.
We can now have the 4 representatives from the Harrison High School cheerleading program go to the podium. You got to guess which 2 are cheerleaders and which 2 aren't.
Maybe we all were. Together, actually.
On behalf of the Gager Benson Memorial Post 199 charity account, we wanted to present you with a check. I know you're trying to get new uniforms for the high school. I know most of these cheerleaders probably started at Harrison Youth Football, and I know a lot of you have been involved with being cheerleading moms. So we wanted to do something to help you out, so we got a check for $2,000. You're welcome.
We happen to have a pretty good representative that sent us the letter at Tracy's dad, who's a past commander of the Legion. We now have a representative from the Reach Out Pregnancy. Jessica, step up there, please.
So we all know the great work that the Harrison Reach Out Pregnancy organization does here in Harrison. I think we're very lucky to have them in our community. And again, again, the Edgar Benson Memorial Post 199 charity account wanted to donate the Reach Out Pregnancy Center $2,000.
And last but not least, the ugliest guy to go to the podium, if the mayor would step up there.
No. Laughter.
Well, you're the only guy, but
You guys could have made me first.
you got the most money, you go last.
Ladies before gentlemen.
Oh, you're absolutely correct.
So again, Mayor, our commitment to the Mayor's Fund has lasted for probably the last 20 years. We've been able to up our donations because of the e-bingo, but we've donated to the Mayor's Fund for, I know, over 20 years. But this month, we have a check for you for $2,500. Our goal with the charities is to help as many organizations in our community. We don't like going out of our community. We've been asked for money to go outside the community, but we prefer to stay inside the community because that's what we care about. Thank you.
And I believe that totals, since January the 1st, somewhere around $57,000 we've donated to the community.
Since January 1st.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably been close to $10,000 just to the mayor's
Yeah.
fund since the beginning of the year. So greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, we'll go ahead and move into invited guests and visitors. And we have Miss Terry Becker on the agenda to speak this evening.
But she's not here.
I was going to say, I don't see her either. Okay.
What was she to speak of?
She wanted to talk about a pool in Harrison and the YMCA. I know I did have a conversation, I can speak a little bit about it. I did have a conversation, while the city does not have the resources to afford a pool, and in reality, it's a giant money pit. Kind of like having a horse, unless you're a horse owner. Sorry, I didn't mean to offend anybody. They're giant dogs and very cool to ride. But anyway, the reality is the expense is just too much, not only for the city of Harrison, but the YMCA at this point. While there still continues to be discussion around trying to make something come to fruition, there is nothing set in stone, nothing permanent by any stretch of the imagination. So a lot of people want it. We all just don't have enough money. So, okay, we'll go ahead and move on to the business session then. The first item on the agenda is to vote on a resolution to establish the depository of the funds received by the state of Ohio according to the Adult Use Cannabis Control Act.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Okay, I'll just make a.
What exactly is this doing?
So we have to set the cannabis money received from any source aside separate. I'm sorry? Oh. You want to just talk about it real quick?
Mayor, I think,
There you go. You talk about it real quick.
so, essentially, this is required, it came down from the state of Ohio. Essentially, we have to pass a resolution basically accepting the money from the tax collected, the portion that's being passed out to municipalities, and basically, essentially say that we intend to deposit into the general fund.
Okay.
Sorry, I was thinking of something different. I apologize.
No, that's all right.
Thank you for clarifying.
And they send us that quarterly?
I don't know how often they send it to us.
Have they said? Yeah, I was gonna say, we haven't heard a discussion around that yet. So,
No.
okay, we have a first and second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Abrams?
Yay.
Mr. Samuels?
Yay.
Mr. Akra?
Yay.
Mrs. Van Cleve?
Yay.
Mrs. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Egner?
Yay.
Okay, the second item on the agenda.
Mayor, real quick, there's a typo in here. Is that gonna matter at all in this,
in the
resolution?
in the-
Let me know
It says,
Let me know what it is, I can fix it.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Dieters. Okay, the next item is to vote on an ordinance amending the amount appropriated to various funds of the city of Harrison.
I'll make a motion.
I second.
Sorry, I was a little distracted by the sirens. Any discussion? I thought it was really clear and loud in here, so.
Mayor, just real quick, just to get these out. These appropriations, most of them came through Finance Committee. They were all approved through Finance Committee, but it basically breaks down about 1,500 split between the police and fire for training, and it's money related to the opioid settlement that has come into the city. There's approximately $1,800 listed out here for uniforms that are being paid from a credit from the uniform supplier. So it's not really costing the city any money, but because we're spending it, we do have to appropriate it. There's another $1,800 for the Hampden County's portion of the forfeiture monies the city has received. The other portion of that, which is about $7,000, is going to be used for a police drone purchase that's been paid through the forfeiture money. There is the big ticket item here is about $74,000, and it's related to the engineering of the State and Cater sewer project. So for those of you who have the ordinance, there's actually two items on here. One is to transfer it out to the wastewater construction fund, and then another one is to appropriate it out so they can spend the money for the vendor. We have $12,000 for the blue emergency call boxes. They need to be replaced, and one is located at Willow Park, and the other one is located at the fire station. And then we have an appropriation for $5,000 for the summer concert events from FCNA Bank. Well, that is a donation from them, but once again, not costing the city any money, but since it's a donation that came in, we have to appropriate it so we can spend it accordingly.
Very good. Any other questions or comments? Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Samuels?
Yay.
Mr. Akraf?
Yay.
Mrs. Van Cleve?
Yay.
Mrs. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Egner?
Yeah.
Mr. Abrams?
Yeah.
The next item is to vote on an ordinance to approve a zone change to create mineral extraction overlay district.
Wait. Go up one.
We have one before that.
C.
Oh,
Go to C.
I'm sorry.
Only have C.
Yes. Okay, strike that. Let's go to vote on an ordinance to approve restructuring of utility cost from July 1, 2025 to June 30, 2030.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Brief explanation, please.
This is a restructuring of our utility costs between the water and wastewater. So as I've mentioned in monthly updates, we've been keeping an eye on the water fund probably since last year. And we finally got to the point that we engaged a company to come in and do a rate study to see where we needed to be. And they did come back with a recommendation. And it's essentially a 7% increase over the next 3 years and 5% increases after that. The 7% increase essentially equates to a couple dollars on a basic residential service. So it's not a huge impact to that. However, well, before I move on, and what this increase is going to do, obviously it's going to increase revenues coming into the fund. It's going to allow us to cover our capital expenditures. If there is any type of debt that needs to be utilized to cover any kind of projects, it's going to put us in a position to secure that debt. At this point in time, the fund is not healthy enough to garner any debt to take on any capital projects. So that's what the rate adjustment for the water is. Now, the offset to that is there is going to be a reduction on the wastewater or sewer side expense to offset that. So hopefully the goal is that the residents, when they see the change come through, they're going to see an increase on the water side, but they're going to see a reduction on the wastewater side. So essentially, hopefully our goal is to have really a little to no impact on your overall utility bill. So
that
that's what this.
A yearly increase on that 7.5% or?
Yeah, it's on the increase, it's 7% for the first 3 years, 5% for the next 2. After that, on the wastewater side, it's a 5% reduction for 3 years. Sorry, I gotta put my glasses on. And then a 3% reduction in the next 2 years.
So 7% each year?
Yeah.
I did a calculation on my water bill, it would change it by approximately $3 a month. So, what, $36 a year?
Yeah.
With the reduction in the wastewater, it'll probably be a net zero at the end of the day. So,
That's our goal. We felt comfortable with, where we are on the wastewater side. We felt we can manage this change, just to not put the extra burden on the residents. So that was our intent and that's our goal.
roll call, please.
Mr. Akra?
Nay.
Mrs. Van Cleve?
Yay.
Mrs. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Egner?
Yay.
Mr. Abrams?
Yay.
Mr. Samuels?
Yeah.
Okay, now we'll go on to D. Vote on an ordinance to approve a zone change to create a mineral extraction overlay district and to apply the overlay on existing M1 quarry property located between Dry Fork Road, West Road, Corner Brook Road, and Madden Way.
Mr. Mayor,
Wilson J.W. moves to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Mayor, I feel that, I'm not comfortable voting on this tonight. I think this should be tabled until we have further discussions on how we can solve some of the problems, on the property.
Okay,
I agree.
okay. Then
It's tabled.
we will table the item.
Are we going to discuss that this evening?
With it being tabled, we can discuss it further in committee. I would have to say that it would probably go to zoning. building
I
and
don't have
zoning.
my cheat sheet in here, but given the fact we pending litigation on this property, I'd like to go to executive session, briefly discuss this, and come out and decide where we're going for it. Is this one right here?
No, it's this one right there.
Oh, to conference with attorney for the public body concerning disputes involving the public body that are subject of pending or imminent court action.
Okay, so we're not tabling it at this time, but we'll discuss it in executive session.
That's what I'm making a motion.
I just want to make sure it's clear with the residents, because if a decision is going to be made tonight, then they may want to hang out until we come out of executive session.
I think we all have enough questions that probably should be answered before we vote either way. That's my motion. It could be we come out and answer it. It could be we table it, I think. It's hard to, without having the questions asked.
Okay, so no decision has been made at this time, and we'll retract a motion in a second, and we'll retire to executive session to discuss this item, correct?
Right, if everyone's comfortable with that.
We can do that now.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I would recommend that you do that, is just move it on the agenda to the end. We go into executive session, and then when you come out, you could choose to table it, approve it, deny it, whatever you want to do at that point, but it might be helpful at that point to just wait to make a decision until after you do that.
Yes, but I'll need a motion and second to go to executive session.
He has the motion, and I'll second it.
There we go. Roll call. It was Ray with the first.
Mrs. Van Cleve?
Yay.
Mrs. Wilson?
We're voting to
Go to executive
session. Okay, yay.
Mr. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Egner?
Yay.
Mr. Abrams?
Yay.
Mr. Samuels?
Yeah.
Mr. Akra?
Okay, we'll go ahead and finish our business items first, and then we'll circle back on this.
If I'd have said nay, someone would have thrown something at me.
Okay, the next item is to vote on an ordinance to approve the John R. Jurgensen Company as the low bid for the Dare Avenue reconstruction.
That I will move to approve, since it's gonna start in 7 to 10 days.
Okay,
I'll second that.
okay, we have a first and second. Any discussion?
More of a statement, Mayor.
Yes,
Just,
make it.
just so everyone's aware, the Dare Avenue project, and I'll talk for Circle and Evans also. It's been at least a 5 or 6 year project before I even got here, and we have tied up over $2 million in both of these projects. So, just for everyone to know,
And it will be starting in 7 to 10 business days.
and the people on Dare, I'm sure, are going to be happy.
Don't try to cut through the neighborhood if you don't want to wait on Harrison Avenue.
Don't go Park Avenue either.
Roll call.
Mrs. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Wagner?
Yeah.
Mr. Abrams?
Yay.
Mr. Samuels?
Yay.
Mr. Akra?
Yay.
Mrs. Van Cleve?
Yay.
And the next item is to vote on an ordinance to approve the John R. Jurgensen Company as the low bid for the Circle Drive and Evans Court Road Improvement Project.
Wilson so moves.
I'll second.
We have a first and second. Any discussion? That one has not been bid out yet, so we have time on that one. So roll call, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Egner?
Yeah.
Mr. Abrams?
Yay.
Mr. Samuels?
Yay.
Mr. Akra?
Yay.
Mrs. Van Cleve?
Yay.
Mrs. Wilson?
Yay.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to add an agenda item.
Okay, we have a motion to add.
Second.
First and second. Roll call.
Mr. Egner?
Yeah.
Mr. Abrams?
Yay.
Mr. Samuels?
Yay.
Mr. Akra?
Yay.
Mrs. Van Cleve?
Yay.
Mrs. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Wilson?
Yay.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we go into executive session to discuss two issues related to Ohio Revised Code 121.22, Section G1, to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, or the investigation or charges or complaints against a public employee, official, licensee, regulated individual, unless a public employee, official, licensee, regulated individual requests a public hearing, except as otherwise noted by, provided by law. No public body shall hold executive session. I think I've read enough of that.
Hopefully
so.
everyone caught all
Am I
that.
covered, Mr. Dieters?
So move.
We have a first and second. Roll call.
A second.
Roll call.
Mr. Abrams?
Yay.
Mr. Samuels?
Yay.
Mr. Akra?
Yay.
Mrs. Van Cleve?
Yay.
Mrs. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Egner?
Yeah.
Okay, we will retire to executive session. Thank you for your patience first. Greatly appreciate it. The only item left to address in the business session is the letter D in section 6, to vote on the ordinance to approve a zone change to create a mineral extraction overlay district and to apply the overlay on existing M1 quarry property located between Dry Fork Road, West Road, Corner Brook Road, and Madden Way.
Wilson J.W. moves to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Okay, roll call.
Mrs. Van Cleve?
Nay.
Mrs. Wilson?
No.
Mr. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Egner?
Yeah.
Mr. Abrams?
Yay.
Mr. Samuels?
No.
Mr. Akra?
No.
Okay. Motion fails. Okay, with that, we will go ahead and move into the reports. And I will start. First, I do want to thank the Rotary for their efforts over at the dog park for the Rainbow Bridge. All that money was raised and all the work was donated. Obviously, there were some questions that popped up at the very beginning of it, but I really think it's turned out well, and it's to recognize and memorialize community members' pets. So I encourage everyone to stop over and visit it. We've also installed new fencing for the dog park that is completed. So there's a large area for larger dogs, and now there's a small area for smaller dogs. They each have their own separate entrance, and it's really turned out well. So the next item is a communications update. We have been working to try and communicate better with our community members, trying to reach them the way they want to communicate, whether it's Facebook, whether it's email, whether it's Twitter or Instagram or what have you. We want to try to communicate with you the way you want to be communicated with. We have, for the first 3-4 months, we worked through a strategic plan, and now we're moving forward with implementing that, and that's rolling out some of the different avenues so we can be better. whether it's information in regards to quarry projects or public hearings or what have you, we want to make sure that the information is available, not only through those outlets, but through our website. It continues to move along real well, but there's still a lot of work to do, and I'll try to provide updates as we move forward. The next one is our comprehensive plan. We do have a survey out there still that I encourage everybody to take some time and answer the questions. For the 10 years I sat on council and the 1 year 1 year and 4 months now, that I've been in the mayor's seat, we constantly hear that nobody's listening. Well, we're asking for feedback, and we would like you to take the time to answer, I think it's 12 questions, and then you have the ability to expand. I encourage you to take the time to fill out the survey so it can help guide us as we go through our comprehensive plan visit, because that comprehensive plan immediately flows into our zoning, and then hopefully we can get a lot of our zoning cleaned up. So, and then the last item that I have, I did have
Can you give the website? www.harrisoncomplan.com.
Thank you.
And that's where you can take the survey.
I was gonna say gov, so I'm glad I stopped.
Com,
So,
yes.
.com. So harrisoncomplan.com.
Correct.
So, I think we've had about 400 residents take the survey at this point. We would love to get about 13,500, if we can get that many. Of course, I think there's 9,000 approximate units, so 9,000 surveys would be nice also. And then the last one was, had the Emergency Management Executive Committee meeting last Tuesday. Went down and listened to them. They continue to remodel a new location for their 911 call center and emergency operations center over in the Tri-County area. That continues to move along. They look forward to moving in there at the end of this year. But more importantly, the EMA really runs on a lot of grants from both the state and the federal level. One of the problems that they've been having, just because of some of the changes that have taken place at the federal level, is receiving some of their grant funds. The nice thing is the portal has been opened back up. I actually talked to Nick, the director down there today, and they are beginning to receive their grant funds. So once again, they will start addressing any sirens that need updated or community activities or anything along those lines. They'll start making their presence out and about out in the community again. So, but if you do have any questions in regards to the EMA, please feel free to reach out to me. Be more than happy to answer any questions or find answers if I don't have answers. But Nick and his team down at the EMA are absolutely fabulous as well. So you can always contact them. That's the last item. Mr. Dieters? Mr. Wilson?
Yeah, I got a report on streets. The entrance from Etta Avenue to the community center, we're going to be closing. There's a lot of people seem to be using that as a drive-through to get to Broadway. And when we've got a playground there, we're going to have a new thing going over there. And we got the paddleball courts. We got a lot of things down here. And people and they fly through there. It's not like they're going 10 miles an hour. So we're going to be closing that. The Jefferson Street parking, where there was some problems with people trying to get out on Harrison Avenue, there's been some painting done to restrict where people can park, and we hope that solves the situation. We did hire a new hire in Class 3 operator, license for the MSD. That's Tim Norman. We also had Anthony Sherrill, who has the Class 3 operating, giving the department 3 Class 3 operators in the plant. The Dare Avenue project is going to start within 7 to 10 days, so get prepared for that. I know the council will get blamed for all the street closings and stuff to get that done, but it is what it is. Circle Drive, the project has been awarded to John R. Jurgensen Company. Dare Avenue sewer work completed by resident. prior to road projects, so that's taken care of that problem. And the Edwards Road Sewer System online paving in progress. We do have a problem on Edgewood Road in that around the 11,300 block area, there's 260 feet that are slipping. And so they're trying to get that fixed, and there is some temporary shoring, which is a 2-year temporary fix, would cost about $220,000. But we're looking at it, just understand it's not the city's fault that ground's slipping, but we're gonna get it fixed. And finally, Mr. Mayor, I want to congratulate Mayor Nyer, Tanner Dole, Patty Van Cleve, and Mr. lose my thought.
Ed Witt.
Mr. Witt on their election to city council. And I want to thank Ray Acra and Doug Abrams for the time they've committed to help the city of Harrison when we were short. And that's all I have, sir.
Okay. Mr. Egner?
I have a brief report, Mayor. The Tech and Media Committee met tonight. The city had all their computers updated to Windows 11. Then they refreshed some of the computers for the people that needed computer refresh. And then I was gonna report on the communication plan, but I think you covered that for me.
Sorry.
So that's all I have.
Very good. I'm doing the same thing I do to Doug all the time.
That's okay.
Councilman Abrams.
Nothing to report on the committee, but I got some public service announcements from the chief. In 1962, President Kennedy proclaimed May 15th as the National Peace Officers Memorial Day and the calendar week in which May 15th falls as National Police Week. Established by the joint resolution of Congress in 1962, National Police Week pays special recognition to law enforcement officers who have lost their lives in the line of duty. This year, National Police Week is May 11th, 2025 to May 17th, 2025. In a presidential proclamation, President Trump has directed that all U.S. flags be flown at half-staff on the National Peace Officer Memorial Day, May 15th, from sunrise to sunset. The annual Greater Cincinnati Police Memorial and Parade will be held May 12th and will start from Fountain Square at 11 a.m. And May 19th is the kickoff for the national Click It or Ticket campaign. Chief Lindsay will join other area law enforcement in Cincinnati with the Ohio Department of Public Safety to remind everyone to use their seatbelts to increase safety and reduce the deaths of automobile passengers. The next 2 weeks, law enforcement officers nationwide will be increasing seatbelt enforcement efforts. That's all I got there.
Very good. And I'm sorry, I do want to congratulate those that made it through the primary, and we'll be moving on. Mr. Nyer, sorry, I was about ready to call you Bill. Yeah, so. Mr. Samuels.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I do have an update. Finance Committee did meet on April 22nd. As always, we did a review of the revenues, expenses, and cash balance. We're pretty comfortable with where everything is at right now, but still relatively new early in the year. Revenues and expenses seem consistent with the overall budget for March. We will have a better picture on the revenue once the April and May income tax deposits are made. And what we're really looking for is just ensuring that we're coming in at where we budgeted. So we'll keep an eye on that for upcoming reviews. We did discuss the budget amendments, which I talked about before. I'm not going to repeat that. Also, we had a discussion on the water rate study. I'm not going to repeat that. I kind of went through that as we were going past and looking at the ordinance. But a couple other items, the gap conversion. At the time of the meeting, the conversion was nearly complete. I think it is complete now. A couple of employee-related items. Anthem confirmed that the city did achieve the necessary criteria for the 2% ERC rebate, which is the first time this has happened since we've been with Anthem. They will be providing updated renewal rates later in April, or later this, well, they provided them later in April, and certainly will be a topic of discussion for future meetings. So those rates have been received, and Kim is working through the process right now. Employee HSA contributions, there was a discussion around the proration of contributions for new hire or life events. The committee agreed to provide full contribution as deductibles are not prorated for employees in this scenario. And we feel this will have minimal impact on the financials also. The 1095 forms for 2021 through 2024 have been filed with the IRS. There are some community center upgrades, new water fountains and new front door have been ordered. Street Department has been assisting with some cabinet removal, and just want to throw out a little appreciation for their willingness to step in and help out with the projects. Matt Eisenbraun did attend the Finance Committee meeting and provided information about the billing for the 2024 and 2025 development projects, a residential building permit update, and a communication process with potential costs going forward. And that's all I have for Finance Committee, Mayor.
Very good. Mr. Aker?
Yeah, I'd like to congratulate the winners of the primary. I didn't make it through, but that's happened before. I didn't expect to be here this last 2 years, and I'm not ruling out anything in the past because you just never know. It amazes me the amount of hate that comes out of this city that I love so much. It's always a shocker. So to the folks who's running in October or in November, get ready for it because it's going to be ugly. If a primary is this ugly, it's going to be ugly. And get your backup. Some of you have come in here, you filled out a form, you ran unopposed, and technically you've won your election. But they used to be really nasty in town, and they're getting there again. So strap up. It's going to be an interesting election season. Everyone should do this, even if you lose. And it's not easy to lose, but you just got to decide if it's worth it or not. And I guess that's might be all I have to say, but.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Patty?
I just wanted to give a little update regarding the district. I don't know if anyone has seen Market Street Grill this week, but with the facade upgrades that we have going on, they got a wonderful paint job. It's blue, it's beautiful. So when you're downtown, take a look at that. We also are spending $3,500 from a donation to get new flowers and flower pots throughout the district as well. So that will be another thing that'll make our city beautiful. We will have the food truck rally coming up on May 17th, and we have a whopping 44 vendors coming in. So it's going to be a big event with a kids zone. Our American Structure Point, who is working on our comp plan for us, will have a booth set up. So besides filling out the survey, we ask you to also stop at their booth and give your input. We want every voice to be heard in our city. And also mark your calendars for September 6th. We have the Taste of Harrison coming to town as well. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Mrs. Wilson?
Yes, thank you, Thank you, Mayor. I was sorry to say Commander. You are my commander and my mayor. Usually, Be the One is the first Tuesday of every month, but since we didn't meet last night, and we met today, so for me, today is Be the One. Don't forget to reach out and check on your relatives, your friends, your neighbors. They may need you just to chat, or they may need you to do an errand, or they just may need you to come over and let them know that you care. On the Harrison Recreation, the Easter program was a huge hit. I think all the kids enjoyed themselves. Everybody loved Houday. He was a lot of fun. And as usual, the Easter egg hunt actually took about 1.6 seconds.
And the rain held off.
We were very thankful for that. Our first concert will be on June the 10th. So mark that down. It's a great band. We'll have a lot of fun. The July the 4th, our plans for that are coming together. The hero banners that you see going down Harrison Avenue, the new ones will be going up in September. The application will be soon online. You'll need your application and photos and all that turned in by August the 1st. There's a $45 fee. That fee is a minimal fee because the American Legion Post 199 makes a very hefty donation to this project to help keep the costs down for all veterans. And also, don't forget that if you live in Hamilton County and have lived here for at least 6 months, if you need financial aid, you can reach out to, and you're a veteran or a widow of a veteran, you can reach out to the Hamilton County Veterans Service Commission, and they will help you. Perhaps, it depends, you have to meet some requirements. They also, if you're a veteran and have a claim that needs to be filed with the VA, they can do that for you. There is no charge. You do not have to hire a lawyer. They do all that free of charge. And last but certainly not least, my prayers and good thoughts go out to the family of Larry Henderson. It's a tragic thing that happened, and you never really understand things like that. You don't really understand why someone would mow somebody down, but that's what happened, and our thoughts and prayers are with his family. That's all I have, Mayor.
Very good.
Mr. Mayor, can I say one more thing?
Sure.
I forgot to say this. James, if you're watching, I got 7 months left. He's a retired veteran, and he's in a wheelchair. And the one thing he wants to do is wheel out and look at the river park. And I got 7 months to try and get it done. I promise you I'll work on it. That's all I got.
Very good. Anything else? Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Mr. Samuels?
Yay.
Mr. Akra?
Yay.
Mrs. Van Cleve?
Yay.
Mrs. Wilson?
Yay.
Mr. Wilson?
Yeah.
Mr. Agner?
Yay.
Mr. Abrams?
Yay.
We stand adjourned. Have a great evening.